Alrighty. The U.S. is not currently one of the 18 countries that allow trans men and women to serve openly in the military, creating a painful situation for those men and women as they serve their country. You can look at that map of countries that do allow service from trans members openly right there. Allison Robinson is someone who knows the challenge well. She is a former Army captain and a West Point graduate, as well as a transgender woman herself. Allison, thank you for taking the time to do this. It's always a pleasure to have you on, and you're an important voice on this. I want to talk about Chelsea Manning first and her specific situation. An official at the barracks where she's being held wrote in a memo that was just made public, after carefully considering the recommendation that hormone treatment is medically appropriate and necessary, and weighing all associated safety and security risks presented, I approve adding hormone treatment to inmate Manning's treatment plan. There are some saying this is a convicted criminal, someone who betrayed the country. This isn't someone who should be getting taxpayer-approved hormone treatment. What's your response?
Well, you know, as someone, Ronan, who swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same, I recognize that the Eighth Amendment to our Constitution prohibits cruel and unusual punishment of people who are in government custody, and I recognize that courts have decided long ago that withholding medically necessary care from prisoners is cruel and unusual punishment. So this is not a privilege. It is not a reward of any kind for Manning or any other prisoner. It's a constitutional right.
Right. If this were a heart attack, there would be fewer questions about giving that essential medical treatment on a taxpayer dime. But for those viewers who don't understand why this is so medically essential, can you explain that? Why this is absolutely necessary for a person transitioning?
Well, certainly. And, you know, it's important to mention that my opinion or Manning's opinion about, you know, what is medically necessary and what isn't is much less important than the opinions of the American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and other internationally respected medical and mental health organizations that have determined that it is medically necessary. The bottom line is that for people like us, people who experience gender dysphoria at this kind of a level, it's really life-saving treatment. It allows us to live whole, healthy lives, and that should be the right of any American or any person.
And Allison, how does this affect the bigger picture? The ACLU estimates 15,000 trans personnel serving in the military right now. What's this mean for them?
Well, look, I think what's most important here is that the Department of Defense acknowledges that this is medically necessary treatment for Manning. That means that for the rest of those 15,000 Americans who are transgender, who are serving in uniform today, they now have at least the acknowledgement of the department that the care that they need is medically necessary. I think it is a step forward in the provision of that care, and the U.S. eventually joining that list of 18 other countries, including some of our strongest allies in allowing trans people to serve openly.
Allison Robinson, so appreciate your time on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronan.
And as we